Well, no surprises here. Pretty much as expected. We knew given everything Governor Kuroda has been saying recently about no need to reduce monetary stimulus because the economy is still in need of it. And inflation, yes, it's going to rise. In fact, they do see the core CPI ex energy up to about 1.6% over the next couple of years, up to 1.8. They did a much bigger upward revision in their core CPI for this year. That's not ex energy, it's just minus fresh food. That's going to be at 2.9% versus their previous forecast of 2.2. They also say the risks for inflation are the upside, but they also see risk for growth to the downside. And in fact, one of the things coming out of this policy statement is that the BOJ will add to easing without hesitation. They're repeating something they've been saying for a while. And they're saying this, even as they're saying that they're seeing strong fluctuations, sharp fluctuations in the currency market. They're going to keep buying the 10-year JGBs every day, so don't try to bust through those yield curve control ceilings. They need to watch the foreign exchange impact on the economy. We saw that statement that went along with the new budget this week, saying that the government expects the Bank of Japan to watch the effect of the weekend on the economy, so they're certainly giving that a nod. And of course, I think it's interesting that this is the day when the stimulus plan came out, the new budget from Fumio Kishida, the prime minister, $490 billion worth. That's an extra $200 billion over what people are expecting. And I think I just want to reiterate a point that Takatoshi Ito, Columbia University now, but he was at the Ministry of Finance and other government agencies with Governor Kuroda years ago. And he said, look, why would, when they're making this big stimulus package, when they're increasing their debt and their deficit, why would they want someone to go from a very easy stimulative policy to keep rates low, then that lets it go higher and increase the cost of that financing? So I think that's what we're trying to figure out sometimes. Oh, the yen's weakening and the BOJ should do something. Why don't they? Why doesn't the government push them more in that direction? Well, I think that's certainly a reason there, Hasleen. I don't know if we'll hear any questions on that at the press conference, but that's where we're going to get more color to all of this, right? Endless questions from reporters. He'll go pretty much as long as they need to go. That's, I think, where we might get a little more juicy stuff. For now, as expected, but it's lines in the sand for Governor Kuroda.
Well, we talk about how the BOJ raised its core CPI data, but still the projection is below 2%. And of course, the BOJ highlighting, warning about extremely high uncertainties. What might we see from the BOJ going forward, Kathleen?
Well, what Governor Kuroda has said, and again, I think we'll probably hear more of this from the press conference when he can actually speak. This is a policy statement, and they lay out the roadmap, is that, yes, inflation's going up now, but a lot of that is commodity prices, food and energy prices, that kind of thing. That isn't sustainable. That's expected to come down. That's the Bank of Japan forecast. And what you need to see is wages rising. And wages are rising a little bit, but that's a sustainable increase in inflation. That's what Governor Kuroda says he wants to see. Now, yes, there's a lot of grumbling in Japan about the weekend and what it means for households and businesses. Governor Kuroda will probably address that. But I think he'll address anything about currencies very, very gingerly, just so he doesn't, throw a match to the fire of the yen bears that might want to try to do what they did at the last meeting, which kind of fire things up, force the government to intervene. I don't expect that to happen today, but certainly I think some reporters are going to try to get something like that out of him.